Tony Madonia from Table 1. Again, we're going to repeat veggies, veggies, veggies. And to add to that, fish, 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 because fish is probably the best protein you can have if you want to lose weight. Has anybody had a food log returned to them by Ellen where she circled veggies and she recircled fish and said, too much of those? So that kind of says it all. I love what Judy said about exercise. You know, we would love to be like these students we see in high school or in college doing their marathon runnings, and they're so thin and they go like gazelles when they're going upstairs. But we're not at that stage in life. So instead, we've got great pathways where we can walk, and especially now with spring coming, with the flowers blooming. And we have great walks in the county. We can do the creek walk in the city. We can do Onondaga Lake Park that now goes around almost the entire lake. And then if you don't want to go that far, you could go right here in Camillus at the creek walk. It's a great walk. You see a lot of people moving, and it's a great way to spend the day and exercise and get your metabolic rate up. One thing our group discussed is, you know, there's things we can't have, but we could seek substitutes for that. I, for instance, just love toast. I have to have toast. But toast isn't necessarily good for us because I can't have the toast at Columbus Bakery, the Italian bread, or the pumpernickel bread at Harrison Bakery. So I found something that can substitute. It's not great bread, but it's toast that I like. And when you're toasting bread, it kind of tastes the same. My bread is keto approved. Has anybody heard of that? Well, they sell them at the supermarket. What's good about it, once you toast it, you really can't tell the difference that much. You could put something healthy on it, like guacamole, or peanut butter, almond butter. And what's great about the keto toast is the carbs are very low, very low. Also, the fiber is high, and what's probably most important to me, the calories are probably the lowest I've seen. 40 calories a slice of bread. You can't find that anywhere. So you could actually have 3 pieces of toast. It's better to have 2, but if you like toast a lot, and you know, you're just over 100 and under 100 if you have 2. And anybody like ice cream? Because we're getting into summer. But there's a great substitute for it, a great substitute that we use at home. And it's with frozen fruit, right? If you get like 2 to 3 cups of frozen fruit, your favorite, blueberry, pineapple, mango, whatever's frozen, stick it in your blender. And with that, you can add a half a cup of Greek yogurt, which is very high on protein. And then you can add, if you want to sweeten it a little, you don't have to, but if you want to, maybe a 1/4 cup of honey, which is healthy for you. And then you blend it until it's smooth, until it's very smooth. Serve it right away, and close your eyes and you think you're eating ice cream, blueberry ice cream, you really do. And the calories are much lower, and I think it's almost as good. So it's one thing that our table discussed, and I owe it to this great table. Look for substitutes for the foods that you like. It really works. Well, we talked about ingredients too. And I always said, if I can't pronounce it or I've never seen it before, I ain't getting it, okay? Because Ellen said something in the last session. These places contain chemicals, and they're really toxic in our cells, and we really don't want that in our bodies. So let's make sure we read the ingredients, and if we don't recognize some of the ingredients, don't get it. Here's something I don't think we talked too much about, but our group did. Carolyn came up with this. Eat slowly. Indulge in conversation. There's so much you can talk about with your table mates when you're eating. Talk about your grandkids. Brag about them. Talk about something that I love in life, sports. I don't care what sport it is. I want to hear what's going on the different teams that we follow. And also think of pleasant things. Talk about future plans, maybe future vacations. That may help also. And the concentration isn't on the food so much, but on the company you keep. Also, this is something I just came up. Remember we were kids, we had a fast before communion? We survived it, right? And we survived 3 hours. What's the problem?
3 hours, it used to be midnight on.
Yeah, right, but it was fasting. And
Yeah.
none of us keeled over. I don't remember that anyway. So maybe sometimes when we indulge too much, we can have a fast, maybe skip lunch, or have a late lunch and an early supper, and not necessarily have 3 days. One thing I notice on our food log, there's always a space for snacks. Ellen doesn't make you fill that in, so you don't necessarily have to write those in all the time. And I really admire her because she said she never snacks in between meals. And that's a goal we should really strive for. Judy mentioned exercise. Exercise is so important, but not everybody, we can't all do that. But I've discovered a Kubi. Anybody seen that? It's like a Kubi elliptical that you put on the ground. And you can put it under your desk, and you can move your feet while you're doing it, while you're reading, while you're maybe writing on something, while you're working at the computer. And it's something that circulates the blood. It strengthens your ankles, and it's really good for you. And you're really not exerting yourself that much after you use it a while.
Hey, Tony, we've got one more group left.
Okay, that's fine. One last thing. Try to eat more at home. Because at home you can use things that are healthy for you. In the restaurants, it may be delicious and all, but the sodium is outrageous. And you don't have to use that sodium here. And now we'll leave it to Bonnie. Bonnie's our expert.
Hey, Bonnie.
I don't mind if we stay late. I'm not going to talk long because it's almost 7 o'clock. But I joined 10 years ago, and I always tell people, if you meet people through church, you know they're good people. And we have the best people here. Our table's wonderful. Ellen is remarkable, and I just love her husband, Bob, because he's so into the losing weight that he encourages you. So we're lucky to have this group that we can enjoy each other. Thank you.
Amen. Amen.